Okay. Just to show it to you, if you have the flag that you made, I always try to duplicate it if I'm going to mess around with it. So there's a duplication on the left that's selected. Just in the symbols panel, I already have one made in here, but I'll make another. Just hit the plus, new symbol. And what this does, it combines all the information that's in there into a symbol, which takes up less space. So if you use this more than once, it doesn't really hurt the image. So again, this is just kind of going over all the different segments in here from the right to the left. So we'll just drag a copy of it right on the table here, desktop. And under Object is where the envelope to store it is. And there's a couple of these, but we'll just go with the warp. And again, the menu shows up as a flag with the last one, but just toggle through all of these to show you again all the different options that you have. And when you click them, see if they usually start off as a straight segment there. Gives you a little bit of a selection showing the last part. So when you
How did you make
click
it
on
one
it,
solid color?
that's the next part. I'll show you that in the rise and the fisheye. So it gives you a number of things to take a look at. And like I said, I just went right ahead with the flag just to keep it simple. It goes left or right depending on how you want to adjust this. You can actually add more of these, but we'll just do one at a time and change up this way. And again, once you get it situated, you have the direct selection tool right here that allows you to take these points and adjust them and twist them down. Now, if they're selected individually or together, if you drag two together, then that panel opens up. So I can drag two of these together and kind of create this up at the top. So it gives you a little bit of a curl I can actually add to it. So kind of over-exaggerated if I grab all of them with this, and I can stretch it out and distort it. Make it like that. So that becomes the shape. And just to show you, this is creating a shape with an offset path. So let me explain that part. When you take the flag itself, you're trying to create a solid shape that's kind of tricky, but there's a little trick here. If you go to Object, Path, and Offset Path, and instead of the unit of measure for offset, just put it at 0, so it'll put it right on top of it. Click OK. And when I move this over, you'll see it sitting right behind it. Edit Undo and just put this object arrange and send it to back. And see if I can select the top piece, which is this line. And just undoing it, puts it right back on the screen there. And then right with the gradient, just click on, I have a default up here of a gradient here. This gives you this image, and up at the top you have opacity at 100%. If you click on it, you can change the opacity level down, but it'll still have a little bit of a overcast to it. But if you click on normal and go to multiply, it allows the colors behind it to show up in the front. And so that gives you the option. And then when you take the gradient tool, this gives you the items that you can highlight and change. I have the gradient stretched out. I'll stretch it out again just to show it to you. It's right there. So that gives me these highlights on the parts of the flag in the beginning. Darken down. If I click on the color and click right on the range, it'll give me that gray that's there. But if I option and click, it'll drag this slider color right over and let that be on top of it to build that color right there. If the dark is too dark, just drag it off. light gray here, and drag that one across. And if it's too dark, I can always double click on this part, go into the different swatches. We have the color swatches and the color picker to choose from. You can change the opacity of that color right there. And it gives you a little bit of flexibility on that curve. Now the only trouble if you start to manipulate the flag, you have the shadow has to go with it. So you have to re-sketch it out there. But that'll give you a little bit of a tone in there, at least to see that piece. Again, option puts that in there. So it gives you a good piece to render as you get built up onto that section. And gradient up here. Let's see what you guys can do there.
How did you make it like 1-to-1? Or is it not supposed to be?
Yeah, I just made it with the same shape there. See if it works there. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it does.
A little bit of that slush